Good day, all you surf heads out there. Thank you for joining Pro Surf Blog today for another episode of Epic Surf News. Today's episode is dedicated to Olympic surfing in the year of 2021, taking the place of 2020. As you know, the Olympics were held in Tokyo, and surfing in particular was held at Tsurigasaki Beach. So to start off, I want to talk about the atmosphere leading up to the Olympics. Everything was really kind of up in the air about a lot of different aspects of the Olympics, including, whether or not they were really going to take place. So there was not a lot of information or fanfare leading up to the Olympics. I think maybe in the last 2 or 3 weeks leading up to it, it started to pick up a little bit more as it looked more clear that things were going to happen. Leading up to the Olympics, Frederico Morais came down with COVID, so he basically had to bow out and lose his spot. Unfortunately, for this particular event, and then with all the travel restrictions going on, it made it basically made it impossible for Carlos Munoz, who was the runner-up in terms of qualifying for the Olympics, to make it in time for his heat. Apparently he tried, but just couldn't get over to Japan in time. So that is a sad situation there. Carlos and Frederico are from different countries, but in terms of qualification, they just go down the line in terms of who had the next best qualifier. Fan and viewer standpoint, Japan being on the other side of the planet made it a little tricky in terms of timing. So I definitely have to admit I couldn't watch all of the event real time. I tried my best, but definitely gets tricky here on the West Coast in California. And in addition to that, California had a bunch of swells that hit before, during, and after Olympic surfing. In a previous episode of Epic Surf News, I shared that Shaper logos were not going to be allowed, but apparently Shaper logos were allowed. They were on the boards. I didn't see any boards with too much action on them, so they were pretty basic, but they did have the logos on there. And as the Olympics kicked off in surfing, there was some action that took place during the early rounds that was notable. First of all, there was Amuro, who snaked Johanne Defay, and I found myself really irritated and upset about that. Even though Johanne is not representing for USA, she was representing for France. But Amuro did pull through, even with the penalties that were applied from snaking someone. And as we get to the end of the update, you're going to find out that Amuro actually did very well in the Olympics this year. Outside of that, there was John Florence, who was looking really stiff, and I almost thought he wasn't going to make it out of his second opportunity to move forward, which was in round 2. He did pull through towards the second half of the heat. He seemed to put it all on the line. He seemed to be hiding his pain as best he could, and he pulled away from there. But unfortunately, that wasn't enough of momentum for John to get through the entire contest with a medal. And lastly, I'd like to talk about somebody who did really well in my eyes, which was Billy Stairmand out of New Zealand. His surfing was super technical. He was doing power surfing. He was also taking to the air and landing with precision. So for a minute there, I thought we were all going to get shocked with Billy Stairmand's performance and have him pull all the way through the event. Also, something that was quite notable about the format for the Olympics was something that it seems to be missing from professional surfing, at least through World Surf League. For the bronze medal or third place for the event, they actually had a heat specifically for that. So typically what you see from World Surf League is that whoever had the highest score from the semifinals out of the 2 losing contestants, that person is typically automatically given third place, which is maybe not totally fair, maybe a little bit of not caring about the performance of third and fourth place. But if you have 2 separate heats, everybody knows that the judging scoring points can be higher or lower on a given heat for a variety of reasons. So to put somebody's score from 30 minutes before, 40 minutes before in time against somebody else's performance at a later point in the day just doesn't quite match up to dole out a qualified earned third place position. So in the Olympics, the medal is very important, so they went ahead with the format to let the third and fourth place or the two losers from semifinals battle it out. So that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. It'd be nice to see that something similar occur in professional surfing as well. And so now I'm going to let you know how the medals were earned out there. For the women, we had Carissa Moore earning the gold. We had Bianca Buitendag earning the silver medal. And then we had Amuro winning the bronze. Even with some of her aggressive surfing at the onset of the contest, she still pulled through and standing on the podium. And for the men, it was Italo Ferreira who took the gold medal. It was Kanoa Igarashi taking the silver medal. And it was Owen Wright taking the bronze. Something notable about the podium is that the configuration is favoring tall people, like Owen Wright in this particular example. Owen Wright is in third place, bronze medal, and looking to be standing tall like he won the gold medal. So in the future, they might want to have adjustable podiums just in case people are of different heights that take the medal. And that wraps up our coverage of Olympic surfing for 2020-2021. Thanks again for subscribing and checking in for these surfing news updates. Check back soon for more surfing action.